Here we go again, y'all. What up, everybody? It's your favorite stoner, AC Ace, and we're back again with another FML Reads. This time, it is going to be school edition. Class is in session, y'all, or at least I hope it is, because you know how off the rail these FML stories can get, and often they go. But just like every day of my sophomore and senior year in high school, we're also going to be stoned, or at least I am, while we do this. So sit back and relax or get to work, whatever you're doing as you listen to this. I hope you're ready. Let's go ahead and get to the first story. Story number 1 is titled Is Rigged, I Tell You, posted by Lance O on June 18, 2026 in the Philippines, McCuddy City to be exact. I'm pretty sure I pronounced that wrong and I apologize if I did. Today, as the new school year starts, we had the traditional class council election, where I bravely nominated myself for class president. As the new teacher tallied the votes on the board, I corrected her with a minor detail. Ma'am, it's Lance A, not Lance O. She responded, what? Lance O? That's your score, 0. FML. Damn. Ouch, OP. Ouch. 179 people voted that the OP life sucks, and 105 people voted that the OP deserved it. I don't think OP deserved it. That sucks. Just maybe didn't know anybody in that class, or maybe I can't explain that, but I also feel like, once again, because I've said this in other stories, and I'm gonna say it again, if I were to run for class, the presidency or whatever, that would have happened to me. Story number 2 is titled How Could You, posted by an anonymous user here in the United States on June 7, 2026. Today, my wife called me at work, screaming in a rage that she hated me, that I was a useless limp, that she wished we never met. Did I have an affair, or did I burn the house down? Nope. I set up the kids' backpack for school today and forgot a library book that was due. FML. Damn, OP. They don't play with those library fees anymore, I'm assuming. I don't know. To have your wife call you in a rage like that and say those awful things, I think it's bigger than you forgetting the library book. That's just my personal opinion. However, 457 people voted that the OP life sucks, and only 89 people voted that the OP deserves it. So as the internet agrees, I don't know, but the internet could definitely agree that it sucks for him, and I feel like he does not deserve it in any way, shape, or form. I hope things got better for you. I really, really hope they did. But anyways, let's go on to story number 3, shall we? I wonder what book it is that they left behind. I am curious about that. Anyways, story number 3 is titled Thank You for Being a Friend, posted by an anonymous user with the tagline saying, this FML is back from 2019, but it is good stuff. Today is my 21st birthday. The only person who drank with me was my elementary school principal, who I happened to run into the bar where we were the only 2 people there. FML. I'm not gonna lie, I think that's pretty fucking funny. I mean, fuck it. At least you drank with your principal, man. I mean, like, the title was perfect. Thank you for being a friend. 2,283 people voted that the OP life sucks, and only 256 people voted that the OP deserved it. I sometimes wonder who votes for people who deserve certain shit that it's clearly that they don't. But I mean, I don't know. Fuck it, man. Party with your elementary school teacher, I guess, and I don't know, catch up. I mean, damn. Story number 4 is titled Foul Language, posted by an anonymous user here in the United States on June 2nd, 2026. Today, my whole family ganged up on me because I called my 9-year-old niece a cunt. Jesus. The little brat purposely ruined my son's final science project for school and caused him to get a 0, even though we wrote a note to the teacher explaining what happened. FML. You know what? That's justified. I think I would have probably called her that too. Well, not that, but I would have probably insulted her too. Calling her a see you next Tuesday here in the United States is crazy though. I don't know. I mean, I know in the UK it's used more often, but here in the States, that's definitely a cutting word, we could say. But 344 people voted that the OP life sucks, and only 115 voted that the OP deserved it. I understand where the OP is coming from. I could kind of understand why people voted that he deserved it because it is a little girl, but at the same time, your son is also 9 years old. Like, you also have, a little boy, and the OP had every right, I think, to go off. To call her "see you next Tuesday" was a crazy choice of words, but justified if you ask me. I don't know. That's how I feel. Let me know down in the comments if you would have called your niece "see you next Tuesday." But the next story I got for y'all is called "Bass Players Unite," posted by an anonymous user on the 1st of June 2026 in the United Kingdom, Northolt to be exact. I hope I pronounced that right. Today, it's been a year since I graduated high school, and nobody, not even my own friends, has hit me up since then. I'm sorry to hear that, OP. I might as well be dead to them. I was in a band, but now I'm realizing they only pretended to be nice to me since I was the only person in school who knew how to play bass. Damn. I haven't talked to a soul other than my family and myself since FML. Life of a bass player, huh? I'm sorry to hear that, OP. 238 people voted that the OP life sucks, and 68 people voted that the OP deserves it. I'll put my tablet down real quick and just give real talk. It's okay, OP. Unfortunately, a lot of people, when they get out of high school, they kind of realize that a lot of their friends are only their friends because they have to be in a building with them for 8 hours. You will eventually find your own group. You just got to branch out there and do your own thing. Honestly speaking, it sucks, but it happens, and it happens to the best of us. Don't let it affect you too much. I'm sorry that it sucks, but I'm pretty sure if you go out and use your bass playing abilities, you will eventually find a band or at least a group of friends that, are going to vibe with you and be your boy, be your homegirl, whatever gender you are. They're going to fuck with you. Just keep at it. That's enough of the motivational talk. OP, if you are watching, shout outs to you. You got this. Anyways, story number 6 is called "They Grow Up So Fast," posted by No Grandkids on June 5th, 2026. Germany, Berlin to be exact. Today, my daughter says she will never, ever, ever have kids because then she'll bleed through her vagina or get stitches on her stomach. She turned 7 last week and learned this at school from her friends. I have yet to have the period talk with her. I am now scared to start it. FML. Well, that was a roller coaster. That was a real roller coaster. Kids, I swear, kids. 327 people voted that the OP life sucks. And 100 people voted that the OP deserved it. I don't think the OP deserves that. I really hope you have your talk with her soon. Kids in schools could be like... They can be mean. So class is almost over, but we have enough time for one more story. This story is titled "Same as It Ever Was," posted by an anonymous user on the 1st of May, 2026, here in the United States. Today, at my high school reunion, my old bully tried to apologize, but I told her to fuck off. She wouldn't leave me alone, so I purposely spilled my drink on her. I got kicked out. FML. Well, that's definitely one way to make an impression in the high school reunion, huh? So 211 people voted that the OP life sucks, but 585 people voted that the OP deserves it. As for me personally speaking, a little bit. You kind of did have that coming a little bit. I think you were justified telling her to fuck off, but I think purposely spilling your drink on her is what probably got you kicked out, because technically, I think that's a crime. I'm not too sure about that, but I think technically throwing a drink on somebody is some type of crime. Like, I think it's battery. Hold on. So I just looked it up, actually, since, I have the tablet right here. And yeah, throwing a drink on somebody is a crime. It is considered assault in some circumstances. And then it also says here, if the drink hits them, it may be considered battery, even if it's just liquid and causes no injury. Even if it misses them, the act of throwing it is still qualified as assault under law. So, while she didn't throw her drink at her, she purposely spilled it. I guess the high school, the venue could look at it as, you know, a possible crime being done and getting her the fuck out of there. I knew that shit was a crime. I knew that shit was a crime. Something told me that this shit was a crime and I fucking knew it. Sorry, I'm rambling. Unfortunately, OP, it seems like the internet voted that you deserved it, and that's that. I apologize. But anyways, that's all the stories that I got time for y'all today. I appreciate y'all sticking all the way to the end of this video. If you made it this far, I hope you can drop a like. I hope you can subscribe on YouTube if you're not on there. I hope you can subscribe on TikTok. I mean, I'm follow. You know what I mean. I'm a little up there. I appreciate you making it this long. School. It was quite the crazy theme. The stories we went down were definitely more school related this time than I expected, and that just goes to show you of how FML works. We really never know how off the rails and on the rails we're gonna stay, or how themed and not themed we're gonna stay. But either way, I have fun reading these stories with y'all. They were definitely interesting, definitely got the noggin talking, and I had fun. I'm glad you could join me in this session. If you made it this far, once again, I hope you could drop a like. To the next time, y'all, stay safe, stay sewn. I'm out. Stay stoned. I'm out. I'm gonna keep that in. Fuck it.